We live in a world governed by hidden architecture, from the commercial algorithms curating your daily feed to the biological imperatives driving your choices. You are functioning as a passive user, trapped inside an operating system you do not control. But you can acquire admin rights. Thousands of years ago, the Vedic epics detailed a blueprint for exactly that. The story begins with King Kaushika. He was the ultimate power user of the material world. He had maxed out every physical stat available to a human being, commanding vast, unimaginable wealth, leading massive, unstoppable armies, and achieving total political dominion. During a visit to the humble ashram of Sage Vishvamitra, Kaushika encountered something that broke his understanding of power. The sage possessed Kamadhenu, a divine cow. In Theotechnocratic terms, Kamadhenu operated as a reality-generating biological 3D printer, a living interface connected directly to the universe's creative matrix, capable of manifesting any resource instantly. King Kaushika demanded it. The sage refused. Kaushika responded by unleashing his entire military might upon the ashram. The sage did not fight back with physical weapons. He activated Brahma Tejas, the pure spiritual source code of the universe. Kaushika's entire army struck an invisible wall and dissolved in an instant. Standing alone on a field of ash, Kaushika looked at his empty hands. He realized that wealth and armies are merely skins on a game, useless against someone who can edit the game's code. Kaushika used this total defeat as fuel. He abandoned his kingdom, his royal titles, and his entire identity to dedicate his life to a single purpose, learning the underlying code of the universe. History shows us how total systemic vulnerability can be converted into impenetrable immunity. King Mithridates, facing the Roman Empire's military machine, ingested small doses of poison daily until his body adapted, becoming completely immune to assassination. Modern leaders face absolute existential annihilation in much the same way. When offered a flight out of his capital during a massive invasion, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky responded, "I need ammunition, not a ride." He relied purely on unyielding willpower over physical assets. These leaders proved that when you refuse to play by the system's rules of fear and survival, the system loses its leverage over you. Kaushika realized that if he wanted to change the world, he first had to become a person the world could no longer break. Kaushika adopted a new name, Vishvamitra, and discovered an exploit called Tapas. Often misunderstood as simple religious asceticism, Tapas functions as a technology of internal nuclear fusion. By consciously burning away his physical comforts and biological desires, Vishvamitra generated massive, reality-bending energy. He generated so much power that it threatened the cosmic hierarchy. The Vedic gods, acting as the universe's system administrators, detected an unauthorized user pulling too much bandwidth and threatening the established status quo. To neutralize him, the admins deployed highly targeted biological malware. They sent the nymph Menaka to exploit his one unpatched vulnerability, suppressed lust. The system failed completely. Vishvamitra gave in to desire, and centuries of accumulated spiritual energy evaporated. He realized that merely repressing internal nature leaves fatal backdoor exploits wide open. Achieving mastery over the external operating system of the universe requires a brutal, objective audit of your own internal flaws. He started over. When the system admins sent a second dref, another nymph named Ramba, Vishvamitra didn't fall for lust. He reacted with explosive anger. That emotional outburst caused another catastrophic system crash, draining his power completely. Vishvamitra entered his final debugging phase. He systematically stripped away his pride and ego until he reached a state of perfectly balanced equilibrium. He became unhackable. Then came the ultimate test. A mortal named King Trishanku demanded to enter heaven physically, an act that strictly violated the fundamental laws of the cosmic operating system. As the gods threw Trishanku back down to earth, Vishvamitra used his perfected code. He uttered a single word, "Stop," and paused gravity with a thought, forcing his will onto the physical laws of the universe. Locked out of the existing heaven, he began writing an entirely new parallel universe around the suspended king, coding fresh stars and planets from scratch. This act of pure creation forced the system administrators to validate his code. They officially upgraded his status to Brahma Rishi, acknowledging him as a co-creator of reality. Vishvamitra is not a passive savior or a chosen anomaly. He is the ideal of a normal human who forcefully upgraded himself into the system's architect. We are standing in the era of artificial intelligence, bioengineering, and neurointerfaces. We possess godlike tools, yet we use them to become passive, entertained slaves to commercial algorithms. Konstantin Tsiolkovsky, the father of cosmonautics, famously said that Earth is the cradle of humanity, but one cannot live in the cradle forever. He viewed gravity not as an absolute law, but as a technical engineering problem to be solved, the same way Vishvamitra viewed the limits of his own mortality. We must adopt the Theotechnocrat approach. Modern technologies are not crutches for comfort. They are tools for brutal self-auditing and willpower amplification. Enforce digital fasting to build your focus. Use biometric data to track your flaws in real time. Master your internal code before integrating external software. Do not wait for the system to save you. By refining your internal code and focusing your will, you can force the universe to adapt to your design.